Well, wait. Oh, do we? Yeah, okay, we do. Let's go to Frank Seravalli. What do we got, Frank?
Hearing that the Anaheim Ducks and the Pittsburgh Penguins are closing in on a trade for Rickard Rakell. So this is coming in, of course, just under the wire at 2:59. That I believe is in the trade queue. Let's wait and see what we get on a return. But it sounds like Rickard Rakell going to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Let's go to Pete Blackburn and the rest of our panel here. Rickard Rakell to the Penguins. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting the Penguins to do much here. I kind of thought they would sit still, similar. Pete, what do you think? Rakell to the Penguins. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Penguins did need help on the wing, and I think Rickard Rakell. You look at his skill set; he's got a really good shot, and he's an offensively gifted player. But he's also one of those guys that I don't think has reached sort of the ceiling that we had set for him years ago. And I go back and forth on Rickard Rakell a little bit, but I do think that this fit is really good in Pittsburgh, and if there's an opportunity for him to sort of hit his peak and produce to the best of his ability, Pittsburgh is not a bad spot for him to land, especially with how deep they are down the middle. So I like the fit, and depending on what the return is, I think it's a good deal for Pittsburgh.
Mike McKenna, your thoughts on Rickard Rakell?
I think fit is the key. It's what was just said. I mean, like, you go to Pittsburgh and how many careers have taken off once you get there. A good example of that, look at Mike Matheson on defense for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah. He's been really, really good for them after spending part of his career in Florida trying to get things going. I know it's D to forwards, but you put Rakell into that lineup, especially if you're talking anything power play, if you're talking anything on the wings, he's going to help them. And I've kind of been up and down on Rakell's game as well, but it's always been the wonder of where's Anaheim at? And does he get quality players surround him on all scenarios? Can he produce more than what he is? I mean, he's a first-round pick. You expect him to be a superstar, but I think realistically, Rickard Rakell is a very good NHL player who fits seamlessly into Pittsburgh. And like Ron Hextall, GM of Pittsburgh, isn't typically taking big swings at the deadline. Look how smart he was to bring in Jeff Carter last year. Big-time undercover trade that's worked out really well for them. Now he's extended on. So I like this. I think that Rakell is going to move, and obviously Anaheim must be getting something of value back because I'm sure there were multiple teams involved in the talks to get Rakell.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the wave from Frank Seravalli to see if we can get the return on a Rickard Rakell, but nothing yet. This Penguins forward group, suddenly you look at it and you go, like, it's crazy how one player with the trickle-down effect can really change your perception of the whole group, because they were running Gensel, Crosby, Evan Rodriguez, Malkin with Danton Heinen and Brian Rust, Dominic Simone, Jeff Carter, and Kasperi Kapanen. All of a sudden, maybe you flip a righty to the left side or something like that, and you look and go, those are three pretty dang good scoring lines that the Pittsburgh Penguins have going on, right, Scott?
Well, yeah, and part of the issue in bringing in Rickard Rakell is that Kasperi Kapanen has not done what they've expected him to do in Pittsburgh in terms of consistent production. Jason Zucker's been out of the lineup for a long time, injury issues there. Evan Rodriguez, who got off to just a blazing hot start for the Penguins, has cooled off somewhat. So I think there was some real legitimate concerns, even though the depth appeared on paper to be there. Was it going to be there when it really counted come playoff time? And could you rely on one of those guys either to get healthy in Zucker's case or the other two to really pick up the pace? Rickard Rakell is a terrific insurance policy. The offseason is going to be crazy in Pittsburgh when you think of Malkin, Chris Letang, both coming to the ends of their deals. Now Rickard Rakell, another expiring contract coming into Pittsburgh. I think it's fascinating because I do see a Pittsburgh Rangers series to start the playoffs, and two teams that have really made significant moves to shore up their offense, certainly, and their depth up front. I think it sets up a very interesting first round matchup if it turns out to be Rangers Pittsburgh, which is how I see it happening.